So today is January 12th, 2026, and this is today's trade breakdown. So right now I'm on gold on the 5-minute time frame. And basically when I woke up, I saw gold is on a little downtrend. Overall, we're basically on an uptrend. If you go to the higher time frame, like the 5-minute, like the 15-minute and the hour time frame, right, we can see right now gold is at all-time highs. This all-time highs right here. So basically, I saw this, and from here I just waited for a clear setup indication to show up, for a clear break of structure basically. So here I was waiting, I saw this, and I didn't really see a clear like black candle right here that price started pushing up from and creating a fair value gap. So what I did, I went to the 15-minute, and on the 15-minute you could clearly see price pushing up, creating a fair value gap. We have a black candle right here, and we have a break of structure. So right here I already drew my zone. This is my zone right here on the 15-minute. So I drew this zone on the 15-minute, and then basically I was just waiting for price to come back down to that zone, right? And then I scaled back down to the 5-minute, and I was just waiting. So from here, price did this, started pushing back up, and created another gap right here where price pushed up, broke this last recent high, which is all-time highs. So I drew another zone right here, and where price began the fair value gap that created the move that broke the structure or the recent high. All right, so this is gonna be like a quick breakdown. All right, so from here on the 5-minute, now I have a 5-minute demand zone, and I have a 15-minute demand zone that's much stronger than the 5-minute. But first, I'm just gonna see where price decides to pull back to and reject from, to then continue the move. And once I see rejections and price breaking candle highs, I'm about to get in the trade. So that's what I did. I was just waiting. From here, we were just waiting. And then price came back down, touched the zone, and then this candle ended up pushing crazy momentum and broke the zone. So that zone became invalid, that 5-minute zone. And right now, this is the all-time highs of gold. All right, so from here, I was just waiting. I knew that this right here was also a support area where price came up, came down, broke that support, right? But I was looking for price to come to this demand zone and reject off this demand zone where the initial push came from on the 15-minute. All right, so you can see right here. Plus we got the 50 MA where price usually tends to come back to the 50 MA and reject from to then continue the trend. So from here I was just waiting. This candle opened, price started rejecting off this support right here. So I was just waiting, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna get in the trade if price continues from here and doesn't come back to my zone. I'm definitely not gonna get in the trade. All right. From here, I saw this. Now I see, okay, on the 5-minute, price is kind of bouncing off the zone and is rejecting off of there. So this could also be my demand zone right here, starting from this area. And if you go to the 15-minute, oh, well, that kind of blew it. If you go to the 15-minute, you can see, okay, this area in general is the demand zone. But I was looking for price to fill in this gap, right here that it created, this fair value gap, and touch the zone before it continued for me to catch the trade. Right, so I was just, how you say it, just double checking, like, okay, if price bounced off this zone of this recent zone right here, this big zone, like this whole area, and then continue, right? If you see it on the 5-minute, you can see what I'm talking about, right? Because price is bouncing off this, rejecting off this area, this zone, this main area. And I was like, okay, if price just continues from there, then I'm gonna get in. But I was mainly looking at the 15-minute time frame for entries, because if you tend to look at the 5-minute, you'll get faked out, and then price might look like it's going up and continue the trend, but then continue to go down. And that's basically what happened. See right here, price broke the candle high. A lot of people would have got in, taken this trade from this area using this overall zone, demand zone, and they would have got in the trade for buys, but then guess what? They would have got faked out, right? And then now price filled in the gap on the 15 minute. Let's go back, right? Price filled in the gap right here, this fair value gap on the 15 minute where the initial push started that broke the recent high, broke structure, right? Came back, filled in the zone. Now from here, I was like, okay, now I'm looking for buys. Next candle that breaks the recent candle high, I'm looking to get in for buys on gold. And first target is obviously 1-to-1. Let me take this out. First target is 1-to-1. So from here, I already sent this to the group chat, right? So they're already being aware, looking at the setup and getting ready to enter the trade if they see the next candle, which is at 9:30, the New York Stock Exchange candle. If it opens and it comes and breaks the recent candle high, the team knows we getting in for buys, right? So then the New York Stock Exchange opened, boom, and that's exactly what it did. It broke the candle, the recent candle high, and as soon as it did, we're in for buys. And right off the bat, price was already near our 1-to-1 with that 5-minute candle. Like that 5-minute candle open, that 9:30 candle open, and literally almost hit our 1-to-1, went at least more than halfway to our first target, but then started rejecting, and from there we were just waiting. Since this is the 15-minute time frame, price tends to take longer. Like the setups take a little bit longer to play out on the 15 minutes. So you just gotta be patient, you know? So from here, I was just being patient. And I was waiting for price to hit our 1-to-1 target, and hopefully we get a 1-to-2 target. That price goes to our second zone and hits our second target. All right. So from here, we were just waiting. Price was just consolidating, and around our entry, if we go to the 5-minute, you see price was just consolidating near our entry for some time. Price was just came up, 9:30 candle, broke the recent high. Price came up, started coming down, consolidating a little bit in that area, as you can see, and then started pushing back up and hit our first take profit, hit our take profit 1. So once price hit our take profit 1, I closed out half the trade and I moved my stop loss to break even, right? And then on the 5-minute, I'm like, okay, we already won. This trade, we already won. We already took half the trade out, took profits of half of our 1-to-1 profits, and we broke even. So now it's a risk-free trade and we already made profits. So now we're just waiting to see if we can maximize the most out of this winning trade and see if price hits our second target, which is our 1-to-2 target, or 2 times our risk. From here, I was just waiting, and I saw this candle begin to reject and break this candle low, so I got out the trade. I completely closed all my positions, called it a day, got out the trade, and let me see. And yeah, that was basically it. That was basically today's trade. We called it a little 1-to-1, and I made roughly around $400. Let me see what's my phone, if I can pull it up. Usually I'll be pulling up my TradeZella, but right now I'm not using TradeZella anymore. I'm using a different app on my phone. And if you guys want to tap in, this is not a sponsorship, but if you guys want to tap into that app, it's called P&L Ledger, and it will allow you to see, allow you to basically document your trades, your winning trades, your losing trades, so like that you can see your P&L of how much you made for the month, how much you lost for the month, and extra data on your trading analysis, like your win rate percentage, equity curve, etc. But this was today's trade. I don't know if you guys could see that on gold. We took two setups, well, two entries, right? One hit for $313 and the other one hit for $97, almost $100, for a total of $411 plus commissions that the broker takes for putting me in the trade. We ended up with $409 for the day on this trade setup, which only lasted, let me see, lasted about nearly like an hour, nearly like 45 to 50 minutes basically. This trade lasted, which is pretty valid. Pretty good start for the week because it's Monday, so pretty good start for the week. And yeah, basically that's today's trade breakdown. It was a pretty simple textbook setup. Pretty simple, basic textbook setup. Like I said again, we see, let's go to the 15-minute. Pretty simple textbook setup, right? We see price come up, break structure. Overall, we're in an uptrend. 3 MAs are underneath. We see price break and structure with momentum, you know, aggressive candles pushing up, showing that big money or, you know, smart money's in the markets. And then price coming down, rejecting of the zone, and then continuing the trend, the uptrend. So it was fairly very simple, a very textbook setup. And yeah, we managed to catch a 1-to-1, which is cool. I didn't want to hold it for a 1 or 2 just because it's all-time highs. So you don't know how far up price can go, you know? So that's why I just took that my 1-to-1 and exit out the trade. Overall, price ended up almost hitting your 1 or 2 target, because I already got out the trade like right here, right? I got out the trade right here. Whoever was still holding it on the team in the group chat, you know, they managed to get a little bit more, and price literally almost hit your second target and then began pushing down. And now let's see where we at. And currently price is over here. We're back to basically to the zone, you know? So yeah, that was today's trade breakdown. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Join the group chat if you want to learn how I trade. Link is in the bio. Join the program and I'll teach you the strategy that I use in the program. And yeah, till next time.